Hi everyone, I'm here to do a weekly horoscope reading for uh, Libra, and as you all know, we have been living in trying times. Even astrologically, a lot of, and as I said, that the Tower card just came out from the tarot. It's a card that indicates a deep shake-up to old structures and old belief systems. So I was saying, we recently had a uh, full moon in Virgo, which was a super moon, and a lot of you must have noticed significant changes around between the 8th to the 12th of March, and that was the effect of the uh, super moon in Virgo. And towards the beginning of this year, on the 12th of January, Saturn was conjunct Pluto, and I think the last time Saturn was conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, it was in 1982. And every time Saturn goes conjunct in Pluto, uh, a lot of significant world events, wars, and I think uh, even when Einstein had announced about his theory of relativity, it was around a major shift in Saturn. So Saturn is a planet that has a major influence on our karma, so to speak. It brings up all unlearned lessons again for learning. So some of you might feel, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening again. It could be a pattern in a relationship, it could be a pattern with your work success or failure, it could be a pattern with your finances. So a lot of cycles are coming up to be learned again. And needless to say, um, January 12th is a significant astrological event, and it happens once every 30-40 odd years. And the coronavirus, in fact, I didn't want to talk about the world events in these videos. I wanted these videos to be separate from what's going on out there. But the universe is coming through and asking me to talk about it. So the world events that are playing out at the on the global stage have significant astrological roots, and yeah, so I'll talk about it more as we go into the reading. So let's start with Libra, right? So Libra, let's see what's in store for you this week and for the rest of the month, so to speak. So Libra is the social butterfly of the zodiac, to put it lightly. Very graceful, very diplomatic, a sign that seeks harmony and balance in all areas of life. And the energy that's coming up for you, oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful message, and it says honor and trust your feelings. This is it's an especially important message for Librans, because I'm a Libran myself, and we have a tendency to avoid conflict to the point of being in denial of our circumstances and feelings. So Librans are usually the peacekeepers, and it is often said that for Librans, any environment which has discord or conflict is not only harmful for your emotional well-being, but even it also reflects in your physical well-being as well. So Librans, what you are being called to do this week, and I would say this is time-tested guidance for Librans in general: honor and trust your feelings. So the first and foremost is to stop classifying feelings as good and bad. If you have read Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh, God says, anger, jealousy, love, to other emotions. He said these are the 5 fundamental emotions, and honor these emotions when they come up within you. So ask yourself why you feel these emotions. See if it is possible to release those emotions, feel them through. And your feelings are guideposts, right? They let you know that a situation or an environment is not right for you. The flip side of it is that you could be projecting a past experience or an old hurt onto a current situation. Let's say your spouse said something innocuous, and you just completely blew up, and or just flip it around in your case. Maybe the person who blew up was your spouse. You said something innocuous and your spouse completely blew up. So it could be an old experience which the person has not processed adequately, and whenever old emotions and old patterns are not thoroughly felt, processed, and released by the body, they stay on in your body as stuck energy, and the more and more it stays on in your body, the universe brings you people who will keep triggering that energy, which to you will come across as people who are being unnecessarily out of bounds, or people who are being rude. But it's just the universe that's kind of trying to trigger you to release that stuck energy which is within you. So honor and trust all your feelings. Now let's get into a more detailed reading. What are the energies that are supporting Librans this week? Wow, 2 major arcana cards. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful spread to come up, and it shows that the messages that are coming through are not random. It's very much in keeping with what I just said. I'm going to start reading with this card first. So the High Priestess indicates intuition, a connection to the subconscious and the unconscious in us. So the subconscious holds material and experiences from early childhood, so from, let's say, 0 to 6 years old, right? So probably a lot of these memories don't even exist in your conscious memory, because when children are born, the predominant state for the brain is it's in a theta state. It's continually absorbing, duplicating, and imprinting the reality around you. So depending on whether you grew up in a loving, supportive home, or your environment was kind of, let's say, stuck up or hostile in the sense emotionally hostile. Um, so this card is kind of calling you to do the same thing, is to go within and access that subconscious part of you. It can be done through meditation, it can be done through journaling, and sometimes you start writing down your feelings, and when you go back and you look at what you've written, sometimes it's very shocking, like, oh my god, I didn't know that I had so much anger, or I didn't know that, where did that come from? That doesn't sound like me at all. That's your subconscious talking. So what you need to do is not ignore it. So that's what this card says, right? So this card says, don't ignore these so-called bad feelings. Let them come up, let them speak their truth to you. Acknowledge the place that they have in your emotional body, and let them go. So this is especially important for Librans, because you have a tendency to sort of gloss over things, and yeah, that's kind of what the Sun card also indicates. So Libra, in its effort to always be sunny, shiny, and happy, might have a tendency to walk away from the shadow aspect of yourself, which is very important. I'll talk about the shadow aspects of of our conscience probably in another video. It's a whole other topic about Carl Jung and his theory about the unconscious and the collective unconscious. It's a lot of material. I'll probably make another video about it. So these are the energies that are supporting you. So whilst it's good to have a positive, sunny outlook, if what's underneath the carpet is a lot of junk, it's not going to work. You need to clean under the carpet as well. So because this is kind of like the pitfalls of positive thinking. Now, sure, positive thinking works, but your feeling point has a much higher vibration than thought. So it says that the heart has a electric or magnetic field, I'm not sure, that's 5,000 times greater than that of the brain. So positive feeling is a lot more important than positive thinking, and you can't fool your feelings, right? You feel what you feel. So go within, do your inner work, see why you feel the way you feel. If you're consistently feeling uncomfortable about something, that's your inner self or soul whispering guidance to you, and you would be wise to heed it. So, okay. So the energy is supporting you, and let's look at the energies that are challenging you, Libra. Wow, it's a very interesting reading indeed. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the tarot has 22 major arcana cards, which indicates significant life events. And it's a 78 card deck, of which only 22 are major arcana. And in this reading, in a reading of 6 cards, we have 4 major arcana cards. So I see like a lot of major shifts that are happening in your life, Libra. That's very interesting. And that's true of me as well. This reading is as much true for me as it is for anyone else. So so what I'm getting for you here, Libra, is that typically the death card indicates the end of a phase, the end of a cycle. It could be the end of a career that you've pursued for a long time. Maybe you're planning to pursue something new. Could be the end of relationships, or it could simply be the end of old ways of thinking, and perhaps you have done a lot of soul searching and you've recently discovered yourself, recently discovered like a whole new layer to yourself, right? Let me put it that way. And so this card indicates major cycles that are closing out, which kind of what the full moon was about as well. You witnessed a lot of cycles closing out for a lot of people. So don't repeat the same patterns. If you see the same experience in your life coming up again, that's an indicator for you to go within and do something about it and see where you are contributing to that pattern, right? So so the world card typically indicates a job well done, a cycle well completed. It's a very positive card to receive in a reading, but I'm going to get further guidance as to why is the world card here. Okay. So what I'm receiving is that you Libra, men or women, right? You've really taken charge of your destiny. You have really set the right boundaries for yourself, is what I'm getting. Because Librans can have issues with soft boundaries, and you've really made a firm inner decision to let your light shine in the world, and to really honor who you are as a person without fear of judgment. So that's kind of what I'm getting over here. Especially picking up on a strong feminine energy. So I'm picking up that some of you have made real strides in the workplace. I'm picking up specifically on a feminine energy here. You've made significant strides in the workplace, and if you have not already been recognized for your great work, you will be soon. It's a very clear message for you. Tell me, why is the King of Cups here? That's an interesting card. And we got the Envy card. I'm gonna pick one more card as guidance. Why is the Envy card here? Okay. Wow, there are two Sun cards in this reading. You are really shining out there, Libra, aren't you? So you have the Sun card, you have the Queen of Wands, which really indicates inspired action by a very strong feminine energy. And there's one more Sun card from a different deck. So you are inspiring a lot of envy from your friends and colleagues or close family members, is what I'm getting. And what I'm also getting for you, Libra, is that is one of the reasons why you have shied away from truly shining your light in the world, is because every time you go out there and truly express all of your gifts, your experience has been that you either attract envy or judgment or both. And So the envy card coupled with the King of Cups, it tells me, so the King of Cups is a very mature leader who has come into complete emotional maturity. He knows how to handle his authority with grace, with compassion, if you may. So, an emotionally mature and wise leader is what I'm receiving. So, you have really learned this lesson about how not to be affected by the lower vibration responses of those who are not at your level of consciousness yet. That's what I'm receiving for you, Libra. Overall, a very positive reading. And let's see if there's anything else. I want to pick another card for the World card. Tell me why is the World card here? There's something else. And we have the Queen of Wands and the man holding a coin. Okay, so I'd previously read the World card for feminine energies. So Libra men who are out there, so the World card again indicates to you material fortunes, and you're probably increasing your finances over the last couple of weeks or so. Probably wiser investments, more focus on savings. You have recently disciplined yourself financially, and all of that is going to increase your cumulative wealth going down the line. So keep up the good work on the financial discipline. And there's more that's coming through for you. Let's see. Okay, that's interesting. Also, what I'm receiving is that some of you are facing issues in your relationship with your spouse or your girlfriend regarding financial matters. So maybe you want to invest in something, maybe you want to buy that fancy car, and your wife is completely against it. So I see some conflict that's arising. Tell me what's the connection between some conflict that's arising between a masculine energy with respect to financial matters and his feminine partner, so, or otherwise, right? So masculine, feminine. I only speak of energies and not gender. So. And we got the Three of Earth. So the Three of Earth is in the Rider-Waite Tarot. It's a card of putting in the work and having a person who's putting in work and is getting recognized, or in the process of getting recognized by his team for the work that he is putting in. And the message that we got here is too much work, life is out of balance. Okay, so this could also be the case that you, Libra, probably I'm picking up on some masculine energies here who are so focused on work, so focused on kind of earning that extra buck, that it has led you to be imbalanced and is causing significant turmoil. The word significant came through, significant turmoil in your love life. So yeah, that was clear as day, right? So that was the pattern. I'm going to leave you with one final guidance card. Mm. And the card that came through was your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. So I have noticed this happening with quite a few people around me, is that they are becoming more and more in tune with their core self or higher self, as they call it in the spiritual circles. So you are being called to spend more time reading books that might guide you uh, towards such towards a path where uh, discovering your hidden gifts is the word, is the, well, that just came through from the universe. So discovering your hidden gifts. So there's so much more to you than what you even than what you can even imagine of, and you are being called to greater and greater heights. So and there's an affirmation on this card, and I'll just say it, and if it feels right for you, you can repeat it. If you believe in God or the universe, you can affirm to this higher power and say this affirmation. Please help me clearly hear, see, feel, and know the divine guidance that I have asked and prayed for. Allow me to keep my ego out of the way so your wisdom can come streaming through me for my own benefit and for those around me. So go deeper into your gifts, discover yourself. There's a whole lot more to you than you can even imagine of, and go shine your light in the world. Yeah, that's the clear message for Libra. So hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you.